We just had a huge Madden 26 patch, and a lot of people are struggling on defense. So in today's video, I'm going to break down the new best defense you can use after the patch to get more stops and win more games. Let's get into it now. So the defense we're going to look at today is the nickel dog mag from the nickel 3-3 double mug formation. You can find this in a lot of books. For the purpose of this video, I'm in the Jacksonville defensive playbook. Now, this defense is super versatile because you can use it to set up many different coverage schemes and many different pressure schemes, whether you're rushing your D-line, using stunts, bringing additional linebackers, and we can all make it look the same. So first, let me show you guys my coaching adjustments, and then I'm going to get into all the different setups that I use with this defense. So first of all, you always want auto flip on, and the reason for that is we want the nickel corner on the strong side of the offensive formation. I like to set my option read, RPO, and pass keys to conservative. Don't really mess with the option pitch key just because nobody is really running these types of plays on Madden, but you could change that if you did run into somebody using those types of plays. Then I like to put my safety depth on close, width on pinch, and most importantly, I change my shell by flicking the right analog stick when I'm under the play call screen. I just flick it to go to cover 2 because this actually also lets me mix in different plays in these formations, and they're all going to look the same. So there's not going to be tells if I mix in other plays. So let's just come out in the nickel dog meg and get into how this play works and what makes it so good. So first, I'm going to show you guys a few different ways I set up this coverage. Then I'm going to show you guys ways you can bring pressure when you're in this play from whichever coverage you choose to use. All of it's going to be easy, and it's locked down. And if you want more content like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel and drop me a like on the video. So first of all, this is an extremely unique play because you actually get match at a double mug. Now, this is going to be a cover 4 match because you have quarter flats on the play by default. So there's a few different ways you could set this up. First of all, when you're just wanting to play coverage and not really blitz any additional linebackers, I'm going to recommend you user this linebacker that's in the blitz angle, and you're going to want to put him in a hook zone or potentially man him up. This is just going to allow you to stick switch off of him and have better coverage. Now, you see that one receiver, 0, he is by himself. He's manned up. I don't really like that. So depending upon the formation they're in, I'm going to use different adjustments. I'm either going to have this corner in a flat zone or into an outside quarter zone. And either way, as long as I keep my quarter flats on the field, I'm going to get match. Now, one huge mistake, one big mistake people make when they use double mug is they spread the linebackers out. You never want to do that because when you do that, you're going to get no threat of the blitz. So you want to keep them mugged up in the gap because this will present the threat of the blitz, which we'll get into later. Now, when you're rushing 4, you want to mix it up. Sometimes you'll want to stunt. Sometimes you'll just want to rush the D-line, really. And that's just to kind of, keep the offense guessing what you're doing. Now, when you have something like this, I actually really do like cover 4 match against bunch formations a lot. And what you're going to look to do, if you want to learn how to make millions of coins to get all the best players on your Madden Ultimate Team, check out the Coin Authority on Sportsgamerz.com. Click the link in the description of this video and use coupon code COINS for 10% off your order. Is defend the middle of the field here. Just as such, you guys can see, I take away that in route, and there's really just nothing open, and we end up getting a coverage sack. So you'll see that when we keep these quarter flats, we will get a good matching defense. You'll see here the running back is matched out of the backfield by the linebacker, number 0, that's in the quarter flat. The corner out is matched by the corner. The post is matched by the safety. I'm just sitting over in the middle of the field. You'll see the other safety is matching the dig, but I helped him out on that. There's really nothing to go to here, because you can see that, the drag is also running into the flat. If you're going up against a more spread out formation, it would be smarter to put that outside corner that's manned up into a quarter deep zone instead of putting him in a flat. I just like the flat for compression, bunch type formations, because most people that run those will a lot of times look to hit you with drags and such coming over to the middle of the field. So I don't really want that one receiver that's by himself manned up, because then if a drag does come open, that's kind of on us. And, it puts us in a tough spot, if our user, because we have to watch that. But against spread, you'd be much better off in a defensive coverage like this, because then, any of these vertical routes are getting matched, and there's just really nothing open. They end up having to eat the sack. Now, the reason why I really like this is you don't have to sit and match. If you run match a few plays, obviously the offense is going to get aware of that. They might dot you up. So you can easily take match off this play. Real quick guys, if you want to dominate Madden 26 and win more games, check out my VIP membership on Sportsgamerz.com. This is where I post all my premium content, including all the offensive and defensive ebooks I release all year long, in addition to premium Madden Vault weekly tip updates. You will learn the proven strategies thousands of players have used to win more games, and over 99% of my members say that they win more games with my tips. Click the link in the description to join now and start winning more games today. By just shading your coverage underneath, hitting triangle or Y, and then down on the right stick. Once you do that, you're going to see that those quarter flats, they change to hard flats. That essentially turns the match off. Now, when you do this, you have two different options of how you can set up a standard zone defense. I'll show you both of them. So the first one would just to kind of be like play a cover 4. You're going to use the middle of the field. You're going to have basically 2 hard flats and 4 deep zones. Now, you'll see that when we snap the ball here, there's no longer any matching going on. We're just kind of going to play over the middle of the field. And, that's good if somebody's like trying to hit us with a lot of crossing routes over the middle, because then we can switch onto the safeties. But if somebody's running more shallow routes like that example, it's actually not the best coverage because I'm kind of the only guy in that area of the field. That's too much for me to guard. So in a situation like that, what I'm actually going to do a little bit differently is this side of the field opposite the nickelback, I'm going to change the cover 2. The reason why I want to do that is because then I can have both of these linebackers in hook zones. Now I have 3 deep zones, 2 flats, 2 hook zones. So now I can have this guy in a hard flat, put this guy in a deep half, put these 2 guys in hook curls, and now I can use either one of them, and this is going to allow me to play a lot better coverage. So far you guys have seen 3 or 4 different coverage setups. 2 are kind of match, and 2 are basically zone. And you guys can see here, now this does a lot better job. There's really not anything blatantly open here, and we get the coverage sack. Now let me show you guys how you can mix in a few different blitzes and pressure setups to get pressure out of these different coverages you can mix in. And guys, keep in mind, I have my full mug defensive scheme on sportsgamerz.com for VIP members. You get access to double mug, nickel wide, single mug, some dime stuff, also on my offenses, weekly tips, man, everything you need to dominate. It's the best deal in the community for tips. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. There's a reason why I have gained thousands of customers over the years. It's because I have the best tips out there, and I've helped so many people get better at the game. It's crazy. Anyways, so there's a few very easy ways to create pressure from this defense. The first is just to call a 4-man Texas stunt, and you can do that from, many different coverage looks. Like you could just do it from this one I just showed you, and this is solid. Keep in mind, when you're calling a Texas stunt right now, people do have different counters that they can do with the double team feature and whatnot. So you're not always going to get pressure if they know how to counter it. Now, if they don't know how to counter it, you're going to get good pressure. But if they do, sometimes what I like to do to get a little bit more pressure more consistently is actually call the Texas stunt with this linebacker blitzing right here. So that's going to actually send 5. And this just kind of increases the likelihood that somebody's going to fly free up the middle. And that is very nice. Now, sometimes, if somebody's rolling out, the best thing you can do is actually just crash your line out and QB contain. That's going to help a lot against the rollouts. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys that, the rollout and contains are 100% going to stop it. Even after the patch, they are better. But, they definitely help. You'll definitely see guys get off their blocks a little bit faster after the patch. So it's not as bad as before the patch. Now, the last thing you can do, and this is something I like to just mix in if somebody's calling play action 24/7 and, just sending everybody out, because a lot of people will, audible the formations with play action passes and just send everybody out because they know that's good against stunts. If you see that, all you really want to do is one adjustment. Just blitz both of your linebackers, and that's it. At this point, what you can do is you can basically pull up the stunt menu on one of the blitzers, hold down on the left stick, at the snap, just run into the lineman, and then just get off of him. Just get off of him and get back into coverage, and you'll see you'll get quick pressure for the sack. So again, you're seeing that I'm on this linebacker in the A-gap. At the snap, I run into the lineman. As soon as that happens, you'll notice that they're trying to play action and just send 5 out in general. One of these ends or somebody's going to come in completely free. Once you notice that you've engaged with the line, you're going to get off them. Don't want to stay engaged. You don't actually want to be blitzing the whole play. You want to peel off just like I do here, so you can get underneath potentially drags, angle routes, or other routes coming over the middle of the field and maybe get a pick if they force that. Now, this is not an every time thing, don't get me wrong. This is only something to do when you notice that they're loving to send 5 out and play action so your stunts don't work. Now, a lot of people will also untarget your user. And that's completely fine. If you see that your user has been untargeted, you're going to notice that at the snap, that gap is going to come open and you can run through it. Now, it didn't happen there, which is fine. But if it does, you can just run through the gap. And if it doesn't, somebody else is coming free. So either way, this setup right here will guarantee pressure, I should say, if they try to send everybody out and use the play action trick to stop your stunts. So this is a really good defense right now. The pressure is really good. The coverage is really good. And you can use easy adjustments to mix in good match with good zone coverage. That's the type of defense you're going to want to run right now because you can't just run the same coverage every play. You have to disguise different coverages with different looks. You have to be able to run match, zone, man. You can't just run one different defense this year because it's not going to work against good players. Hope this video helped you out. If you did, smash that like button. Until next time, it's your boy Duke, and I'm out of here.